admirers. And with your fortune.
Hardly surprising if you're putting up the Margrave here.
No, that's more down to his Hungarian cousin, if you get the meaning.
Perfectly, my lord.
Take that! Yeah.
Firmly attached there. Eat whatever takes your fancy, my friends. You look like you've had a hard journey.
Ah, the journey wasn't so bad, especially compared to what came before it.
Where are you coming from, anyway?
From Trusky.
That's Sir Otto von Burgo's domain. What were you doing there, pray tell?
We were in a castle cellar, talking to an old acquaintance.
My God, how did that happen?
Simple. I'm in the service of Lord Sokol of Lamberg, same as Dry Devil, and I had a job to do around Trusky, if you get my meaning.
Absolutely. But it wasn't much of a success, was it?
Actually, it was pretty much. We even took a castle.
Well, more like a small stronghold.
And we nearly got von Berghoff, too.
And what prevented you from completing that righteous deed?
Actually, it's a little bit my fault.
What are you saying, boy?
Me and my lords were sent to negotiate an alliance with von Berghoff. But that snake was using us the whole time to do his dirty work. He pretended he was willing to cross over to the side of Wenceslas. But instead, he sent us to fight against the king's allies.
And if that wasn't enough, von Orlitz and the Prague militia joined with him.
But why would the Pragas send forces to Trusky?
Ah, but they didn't, sir. They weren't sent to Trusky, but here. They just stopped off to visit von Berghoff because he was in a tight situation, and they took him along with them.
Here? To my fortress? Christ almighty.
Not just here, but everywhere where King Wenceslas still has supporters.
And that's also one of the reasons why we're here. We came to warn you. It seems Sigismund's run out of patience. He's going to break the truce and finish off the rebellion. You have a very fine fortress, my lord.
Excuse me.
Hardly surprising if you're putting up the Margrave here.
No, that's more down to his Hungarian cousin. If you get my meaning.
My God. Oh, well.
Don't.
I'll sort you out.
Hardly surprising if you're putting up the Margrave here.
No, that's more down to his Hungarian cousin, if you get my meaning.
Perfectly, my lord.
Sorry.
Bit longer without food, and I'll really start to be grumpy.
Swinging a weapon around here. Now you'll see. So bad, especially compared to what came before.
Where
From
We simply well,
and
Mark Vart von Aulitz.
I know that name. He's the commander of the Prague militia.
Exactly. And they came with him.
But why would the Praguers send forces to Trotsky?
but they didn't, sir. They weren't sent to Trotsky, but here. They just stopped off to visit von Berghoff because he was in a tight situation, and they took him along with them.
Here? To my fortress? Christ almighty.
Not just here, but everywhere where King Wenceslas still has supporters.
And that's also one of the reasons why we're here. We came to warn you. It seems Sigismund's run out of patience. He's going to break the truce and finish off the rebellion while he still has time. So he's convened all his followers in Kuttenberg with von Berghoff and von Aulitz in the lead. It's just a matter of time before the battles begin.
We've got to secure the fortress quickly, stock up on supplies, reinforce the guard and drill the troops. But I'm grateful to you, friends. Wait here. I'll have the best wine I have brought to you. Bring that red from Burgundy right away.
You might want to save some for Jobst.
I'll gladly risk his displeasure for this occasion.
It seems we both have the same opinion of Jobst, eh?
Well, that is, I wouldn't dream of disrespecting the Margrave. Where do you know him from?
I don't really know him as such. We merely know each other due to my original trade.
Yes, I've heard of you. They say you used to be, well...
Yes, a bandit. It's no secret, sir. King Wenceslas even put a price on my head once. And Catherine here, she...
I'm sure that's of no interest to the noble gentleman. And anyway, if anyone knows Jobst well, it's Henry here. You two are quite on friendly terms, aren't you?
Well, we only met once, in fact. When he came to see Lord Hanush in Rattay.
Anyway, we're straying a little from the point. As I said, one of the reasons we came here is to warn you. And the other reason goes by the name of Hinnek, the Dry Devil. Where is he?
Well, he was here for a while, at my invitation.
Was? So he's no longer here? Thank Christ.
Where did he go?
I couldn't say. He didn't part quite on the best of terms.
That's quite normal for him. Don't take it to heart, sir.
I had no issue with him. It's more about Margrave Jobst. When he met Hinnek, he was somewhat disturbed.
Disturbed? Why?
Well, let's say, after an exchange of opinions, they agreed it would be best if they saw as little of each other as possible. I'm sure if you're interested in the details, the Margrave will explain it to you himself.
I'd be very surprised.
Why is Jobst taking such risks? He almost put himself in Sigismund's reach. What for?
To do what he's been doing all his life. Scheming.
One could put it that way. He's seeking allies amongst the undecided lords, and winning over to our side some of the ones who've sided with Sigismund so far.
He wants to make deals with turncoats?
Alas, that's the way it goes in politics. The majority lean towards the side where they expect the least problems. Just between us, I'm not too pleased myself about Jobst's strategy, and I'm the last one who'd wish for violence.
What was Dry Devil doing here, anyway?
Waging war, if you can call it that. He ambushed 3 of Sigismund's supply caravans and a troop of Cumans in these parts alone. It made me a little nervous. If anyone found out he was hiding out here, in the end, it was Jobst himself who sorted it out. He told Hynek he had to stop because he was interfering with his plans.
What do you think about all of this, sir? Sigismund, Wenceslas, Jobst?
What kind of question is that? Do you doubt my loyalty to our king?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Henry here sometimes forgets to weigh his words, sir.
That's all right. To be frank, we all know that King Wenceslas isn't the great man his father Charles was. But that is the way of the world. History is full of kings who didn't know how to wear the crown. The blood running in their veins is more important than what's in their heads. He's not a capable ruler. What of it? In my opinion, kingship is above all a guarantee of divine peace. A sovereign's greatest asset is his legitimacy.
But what if the sovereign is truly bad? If he's mad, say?
I'll put it this way. Nobody lives forever, lad.
Least of all bad kings. Isn't that right, sir?
So, what about us? What do we do now?
The Margrave will certainly want to talk to you, but the earliest he'll be back at the fortress will be tomorrow. I hope until then, you won't refuse my offer of a bed for the night.
Just an offer. So you'd let us leave if we wanted to?
Well, the Margrave did ask me to look after you until he returns, for the sake of security.
Whose security?
Good question. Yours, I expect.
So be it. I couldn't take another step anyway.
Sir, there's still one more thing we came for. Lord von Bergov is holding my lord, Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, hostage. And we also have to warn Jobst's ally, John of Liechtenstein. Do you know anything about those two?
Sorry, I don't. I didn't even know von Bergau had come here until you told me. And I've heard nothing about Lord Liechtenstein.
Which is actually good news. If he'd been caught and executed, the word would be all over the region. So there's a strong hope he's alive.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Lord Pisek.
It's the least I could do, lad. My fortress is open to all the king's supporters, even if that does make it a bit crammed.
I suppose I ought to get to bed. Where can I sleep, sir?
I had some chambers prepared for all of you. Yours is right here in the palace. Cross that corridor and go up the stairs. You can't miss it. There's a garland above the door. But first, eat your fill, all of you. And maybe you'd like to bathe before going to bed. I told my servant Susanna to prepare baths for you. The baths are in the little house in the courtyard, right next to the well.
What happened at Nebakov after the Praggers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
Of course. I know you weren't there, but maybe you heard something. You know what goes on, right? I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing after that.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, von Aulitz's men hung everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
God grant you health.
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
No, I don't know her well. But she was very kind to me. I suppose now I'll never see her again.
Poor girl. May God forgive her sins and grant her eternal rest. You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Michael, the adjutant, survived?
I'm afraid I do know. Zhishka said the shot killed him on the spot.
Did you know him?
Aye. He was a good man. He saved my life once.
I didn't know that. Do you want to talk about it?
Not now, thanks. Some other time, maybe.
Thank you. That's all.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
No, that's all right. Thanks. What do you think of Lord Pisek?
He's a real man, at least. Noble and good-mannered, but I hope his age has weakened his hearing. You should be ashamed of yourself asking about him when he's right next to us.
What do you plan to do now?
What do you think? Have a proper meal and then go and lie down?
That's a good plan. Sleep well.
You too. You're gonna need your strength. We have lots of work ahead of us.
Any orders, Captain?
Now, eat and sleep. I'm not sure how long they'll treat us this well, so make the most of it.
How are you?
Much better with hot food in my belly. But a pitcher of wine would be the best remedy.
Don't overdo it, though. Better to lose one eye than drink yourself blind.
I'll sort you out nicely.
What would you like?
Good afternoon.
I heard Kuttenberg surrendered to Sigismund, and his army is running amok here in the area.
They are. These dreckigen Hurensöhne are angry, you see. They thought they would rake in the silver from the Kuttenberg mines. But they couldn't have been more wrong. Sigismund kept all the treasure for himself. Why should he pay them out of his own pocket when the local lords are feeding them?
What? I don't understand.
Dann pass mal auf. As soon as the soldiers began looting the villages around the city, the local nobility quickly decided it's better to pay them Lösegeld.
So that Hungarian bastard is getting rich, while the locals feed his army?
Das trifft den Nagel auf den Kopf. And yet, that carrot-topped Schweinehund lets the monks in the Zealots monastery fuss over him while he receives legations from the whole kingdom.
Do you know by chance how to get into that monastery where Sigismund is staying?
Wie bitte? Hast du den Verstand verloren? You can forget about that. You won't get in there. And listen closely to what I tell you. I don't know what you're planning, but I'll give you some good advice. Leave Sigismund alone. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but surely. You'll see. You'd better be glad you still have your head.
Did Sigismund also attack Suchdol?
Oh, yes, as soon as he got here. But my men know what to do. Mit der Hilfe Gottes, we fended him off and forced him to negotiate. Mein Herr Peter, however, had to pay him a fat Lösegeld to leave us in peace. The villagers in the vicinity fared even worse.
What happened?
They raised Mesolas and Opatowitz. There was nothing left but ashes and stones. They haven't been here since then, but who knows what tomorrow may bring. Der Teufel soll Sigismund holen.
How do things work around here? Is there something I should be wary of?
Not really, except for the Sigismund military camp at Opatowitz. And it isn't really all that safe in the raised villages either. Diese Banditenbanden have settled in there. A bunch of dossers who'll easily cut your throat for a piece of bread. Ah, so God will. These evil times will soon be over.
How do I get to Kuttenberg from here?
Das ist nicht schwer. You just take the main road to the east, and then you'll see the church towers. Or you can also follow your nose. There's smoke rising from the Kuttenberg smelters day and night. The smell is hell, but it's worth it for the silver. In fact, the silver's why Kuttenberg is the second richest city in the kingdom, right after Prague.
Where did you say Sigismund's army is camped?
Unfortunately, they're close. They've occupied the hill above the main road near Kuttenberg, so no one could just come and help the town. When you walk out of the village and look toward Opatowitz, you should see the flags flying above their camp. Pah, that Hungarian camp is like a boil. It's just festering and we just can't get rid of it.
I need to top up my supplies. Where could I find some merchants here?
You'd be better off asking the innkeeper Slivka in the village about these things. He knows everyone from far and wide. And that's no surprise, because he makes such good spirits.
How's it going, Captain? Do you have any work for me?
Sehr interessant. I thought you were helping Sischka.
What of it? So is there anything you need a hand with, Frenzel?
Zum Glück nicht. Nothing urgent. If you're looking for einen Pfuschen, try your luck elsewhere.
How's it going, Captain? What?
Zum Glück. If you're looking... Tschüss, mein Freund.
So, I went to see my brother. Talk about the...
Lord Pisek said we could have a bath here?
Yes, sir. I prepared the hot water and fragrant oils myself. And I'll wash your clothes as well.
Thank you.
You needn't thank me, sir. And now, if you'll allow me, I'll help you undress.
God, where is that dog?
What are you doing, Whistler?
So you got your revenge? Father, did it make you feel any better? It did. So what comes next?
Mark von Aulitz is next. Then von Berghoff.
And is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happened.
It's what I want.
Are you sure, Henry?
What's happening? Why are you waking me up? You again?
Yes, the Margrave is calling for you, sir. You and the other gent.
You mean Zizka?
I suppose. I don't know what his name is, but he's waiting down in the courtyard. I'm just on my way to tend to his wounds.
Oh, very well. I'll go now.
Before you go, I brought you something for breakfast. In case you're hungry. Oh, have I been too bold?
No, definitely not. Thank you. Do you need anything else?
No, sir.
So, why are you standing here?
You haven't dismissed me, sir.
I'm not a nobleman. You don't have to stand on ceremony with me.
I do, since you're a guest of the Margrave, sir. May I leave?
Aye. That is... yes, of course.
Thank you, sir.
Look what I have for you.
So you're saying you have no idea? No, sir. I didn't see anything.
All right.
Otherwise, I'll have the catch poles look for you. Maybe he just popped out and we'll be right back.
He has no business popping out when I have work for him to do. Ungrateful, good for nothing.
I'm sorry.
I must be going.
Silly doggy.
You see, meine Dame? We aren't idle here. My men train like that every day.
You've got a lot to learn.
If Sigismund his army happened to turn up, you'd have 2 warriors.
But why would he come here?
Why wouldn't he? Lo, the worth Henry of Skalitz. I'm just holding a discussion with the captain here about his desolate fortress.
That's not how I'd put it. In the end, as mein Großvater said, the strength of a castle is measured by its garrison. And mine is one of the best in the region. What do you say, lad? Am I right?
Aye. I have to admit, the soldiers here look pretty fearsome. I wouldn't want to come up against them in battle.
I get the feeling you'd run instead of facing them, though. Eh?
Leave him be, meine Dame. Nobody with any sense would take on my men.
Now look here, I was just being polite. I'd happily take on your men.
Ach ja?
Do you fancy yourself a knight?
Come, Junge. We'll stuff your clothes with straw, so you don't come to any harm, and let you have a go against one of ours. Pullcock, come here! The first to bleed loses.
Ah! Yeah! Ah! Whack up! Ha! Yield! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Excellent, Henry.
It was nothing.
Gut gemacht. You have my admiration. You really are good with the sword. I hope my idiots learned a thing or two from you.
You should receive some kind of reward for that feat.
And what rewards would you have in mind?
I was rearranging our saddlebags, and I remembered I took a small memento from Trotsky.
Oh. What is it?
A hunting crossbow. I even think it's von Berghoff's. I was meaning to sell it, but it might serve you better.
My word. Thank you. I better go and find Zizka. The Margrave is expecting us.
I saw Zizka next to the stables. There was some girl hanging around him.
Do you want to come with us to see Jobst?
Not really. I'll go and pack my things instead. I have a feeling we'll have to leave soon.
Why?
A woman's intuition.
Good morning.
Would you...
Happy to be of service, sir.
The other day, I was standing in the yard when I saw this cloud.
And this scar? It's strange, crooked, like a letter from a fancy book.
This. I fell off the battlements at Luxembourg Castle.
Lord above! From the walls! And were you conquering or defending that castle, sir?
Well, depends on how you look at it. We were...
How are things, Captain?
What do you think? I've seen better days. And you, youngster?
Me? Well, considering what we've been through, surprisingly good.
Just wait until you've been through as much as I have.
Nah, don't say that. You still have your strength. A real man of iron.
A damned rusty one, I'd say. But enough chat. I see Jobst has returned to the fortress.
That's why I'm here. They're expecting us. I wanted to take Catherine along too, but she said she'd rather get the horses ready.
She's doing the right thing, and you better run ahead and greet the Margrave. I'll join you shortly.
Are you expecting trouble?
I always expect trouble. Jobst has turned coats more times than I can count. And the way things are these days, I'd rather have horses standing by, even on a visit to my parents.
What about that dry devil of yours? Did you find out where he went?
No, nobody asked him where he was going, but it seems they're hoping it's as far away as possible. I'm not surprised. If I know him, he wasn't the ideal guest.
At least Jobst might know where he is.
He might. To be honest, that's the only reason for talking to him.
Should I really go and see Jobst on my own? He's the Margrave, though.
So what? You already know him better than I do. You met him in Ratai. I only know what I've heard about him.
Well, all right, but he sent for us both. How's it going to look?
A bit odd, I suppose. But you must understand, I'm doing this for our benefit. The less time I spend with a Margrave in one room, the better.
All right, then. I'll be going, then.
Good morning, lad.
Well, blacksmith, how's it going?
Worse and worse, friend. Since Sigismund came this way, I've had so much work I hardly sleep. You know, everyone suddenly realized that the blunt, rusty weapons they have at home aren't worth shit.
I'll have a look at the wares.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Careful.
How can I...
And this scar? It's strange, crooked, like a letter from a fancy book.
I'm sorry.
Henry. Where's Captain Zizka?
He got held up.
I received a report that von Bergov's banner is flying in the camp of my dear cousin Sigismund, so I assume the negotiations at Trotsky didn't go too smoothly.
No, sir. I don't have good news for you, I'm afraid.
Well, good or bad, I'm sure you have plenty to report. So what happened with von Bergov at Trotsky?
Bergov had no interest in our message. By the time we finally arrived at Trotsky, he'd already long since made a deal with Sigismund. But of course, he didn't tell Sir Hans and me anything. And on top of that, he used us to do his dirty work. Everything went to hell in the end, and we ended up in a dungeon. Or at least I did. They took Lord Capon away. In fact, that's why we're here. We were following von Bergov's trail.
So I've heard. But I'd be interested to know the details. It's been some time since our meeting in Ratai, and now you appear here by the side of a quite unexpected guest.
An unexpected guess?
Yes, of course, I've heard of Zizka before, and of his unconventional ways of supporting our king. But I don't know where you know him from.
We met outside Trotsky, in rather complicated circumstances. We crossed swords. I can only thank God we didn't kill each other.
And who was giving Zizka orders? Do you know?
I think it's some Jan Sokol of Lamberg.
That would make sense. He was always quite pig-headed.
Forgive me, my lord, but how is it possible you don't know? Aren't you all on the same side?
Bear in mind that my dear cousin, His Majesty King Wenceslas, has many supporters, and each of them has their own ideas about how to defend him.
I understand. It seems complicated.
On the contrary, it's all quite simple. If I could get them all together in one banquet hall, give them their fill of wine and venison, they'd come to an agreement on the spot. Let's move on. I heard something about a pillory and poaching. What in God's name did you and Sir Hans get up to?
Things went wrong right from the beginning. We were ambushed, and we lost the letter. Lord Capon and I were lucky to get out of it alive. But no one at Trotsky believed that we were messengers.
Von Berghoff refused to aid a nobleman in need. That seems pretty low for a man of his stature.
Well, to be honest, Lord Capon didn't really look much like a nobleman. We were ambushed while bathing in a pond, and then we fled through the woods. So we really looked like a pair of beggars.
Ah, that must have been a peculiar feeling for Lord Capon.
Not only for him, sir. I may be just a bastard, but that doesn't mean I'm used to begging at castle gates dressed in rags.
Believe me, I didn't intend in the least to make such an insinuation. In any case, are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?
Well, you should probably know that Istvan Toth was working for von Berghoff.
Who's he?
One of Sigismund's cronies. He was causing havoc around Ratai.
Ah, yes. Hanush and Radzig mentioned some such person. They even foolishly let him go.
They had to. They gave him their word.
Yes. Well, it's actually quite heartening that some people still have such naive ideas about the world.
Well, no one let him go this time. He's dead.
Very good. From what I've heard, he was a bandit and a cutthroat. There should be no dealings with his ilk. And do you want to tell me anything else? Besides about Toth?
That's all that happened, sir.
Truly. My court messenger and bearer of tidings, both good and bad, John of Liechtenstein, has mysteriously gone silent. So every piece of information I get now is precious. By the way, you said you were in von Berghoff's dungeon, and I can imagine how they treated you there. Tell me, did you reveal anything?
Well, they asked questions, yes. But I was counting on that, and prepared myself for it.
How did you prepare yourself?
Well, I mainly told them things I was pretty sure von Berghoff already knew. Like that Radzig is a supporter of Wenceslas, that you and I met in Ratai.
And was he satisfied with that?
Well, I don't think he expected anything more from a simple servant of Lord Capon.
That's true. I must say, Henry, you've pleasantly surprised me. You can keep a cool head as the world around you burns. You'll make it far. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be glad if you stayed at the fortress. As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Rattay. I'm sure you already want to go home.
What? Go home? I can't. I have to rescue Sir Hans. I made a promise I'd protect him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Berghoff has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
Margrave.
Ah, Captain Zizka. Henry and I were just discussing Lord Capon.
Yeah, the Margrave thinks he's in no danger, and we should wait for a ransom demand.
As one does.
I wanted to talk to you about something else. I suppose you're wondering why your friend Hinnek, also known as the Dried Devil, isn't here?
Oh, there's plenty of gossip going on around the fortress. You and Pisek refused to grant him asylum.
Asylum is for those in distress, Captain. Hinnek came to burn and pillage. I have quite different plans.
Oh. And what might those be, Margrave? Sitting and talking while King Wenceslas rots in a dungeon. What would I expect? Not so long ago, you were conspiring with Sigismund against Prokop, your own brother.
It would be futile trying to explain to you the intricacies of the Luxembourg's dynastic politics. Let me just explain that that was what was called for in the situation. But I assure you that I am now acting in the best interests of this country and of King Wenceslas.
You're acting first and foremost in your own interests. Everyone knows that.
Strong words coming from a man who earns his bread by killing merchants on the road. No offense intended. I applaud your art. The pen is mightier than the sword, but there are times when it's vice versa. Enter!
All ready to leave now, sir?
Good. It's high time. I expect the captain was about to leave anyway. Are you not?
With pleasure.
And you, Henry?
Me? Well, sir, I made a promise.
I understand. I won't attempt to keep you here by force. But bear in mind, I have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, which gives us time to get ready. And if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences. Grave consequences. I consider this matter closed. Farewell and good luck.
I get the feeling Jobst didn't make a great impression on you. Are we leaving?
Yeah. And Henry's going with us.
Wait, you'll help me find Capon?
Sure. But we'll need people for that. And information. Catherine, I've got a job for you.
Yes?
Go to Kuttenberg. Find out what happened to Liechtenstein. If anyone knows what's going on in this godforsaken country, it'll be him. In the meantime, we'll go and find Dry Devil and his band.
Good luck. I'd go all the way to Rome to spy if it kept me away from the devil.
Let's go! Stay close. The devil doesn't know you, but he should recognize me, even like this, unless he's too drunk.
What is your plan, anyway? Go from village to village, hamlet to hamlet, until we find him?
That won't be necessary. We just have to visit places where you can get booze.
So all the taverns and dens in the region?
If it comes to that.
I'm up for that.
Don't get your hopes up. We'll have a beer, listen to the local rumor mill, and if we don't find anything, we'll pay up and move on.
Where do we start?
I have heard of a place that's a favored meeting spot of bandits, poachers, and all kinds of scum. If I was looking for the devil, or at least someone who knows something about him, that's where I'd go.
Sounds like a good place to start. And if we find the devil, what then?
If we're really to step on Sigismund's toes, we need capable men. And the devil's capable. Of anything, really.
I'm not sure what the three of us can achieve.
Hinek's not alone. He has the devil's pack.
Who?
That's what his band is called. They're exactly the sort of men we need.
And what do you have in mind when you say step on Sigismund's toes? What about Liechtenstein and Capon?
The same thing we did to von Berghoff. But don't worry. It's gonna take a lot of time before we're ready. In the meantime, hopefully Catherine will find out where young Liechtenstein is hiding. If his spy network really lives up to the legend, he'll surely know where they're keeping young Capon.
I just hope Sir Hans is all right.
Why wouldn't he be? He's the Lord of Perkstein. He's of no use to them dead.
If I don't bring him back to Hanush alive, I might as well hang myself. Anyway, how much farther is it?
Still a long way to go. Shall we speed up?
The road's quiet. The surroundings are pretty. Why rush? At least we won't be so conspicuous.
So. Dismount. I hope our journey doesn't prove to be in vain. Keep your hand on your hilt, Henry. Around here, you never know what might happen.
I warned you had it coming, you drunk!
Hang on. I didn't see it. Does feel better when I've had a drink. It's a gift from God.
Either you pay us back our coin, or you can leave your head with us.
You wouldn't get a groschen for an alternative, mine.
You're right about that.
I'd have a use for that turnip. But I can only pay for it with iron.
Shiska?
You turn on your heel and get going, if you value your life. You might have noticed, there's more of us than you.
That can be fixed.
Kiss your ass.
Do I have to pull you out of trouble again? I see you're still a drunkard.
It's good to see you too, Shishka. What happened to...
That doesn't matter now.
Huh? Who's that? Where's your old band?
You're looking at all that's left of it.
I see we have a lot to talk about.
That we do. Anyway, this is Henry. Henry, this is Kubienka.
Hiya, lad. And thanks for the help. You're handy with a sword.
Thanks.
Not that I couldn't handle them myself.
He would be one of the best archers north of the Alps. If he wasn't drunk or with one arm in the stocks all the time.
Shouldn't we leave before someone notices the corpses?
Easy, lad. This was the devil's den. If we behave ourselves, the innkeeper will just charge us a cleaning fee, and that will be that.
There will be plenty of time to get acquainted with the local customs. We're looking for the devil. Where is he?
Well, when I said we have a lot to talk about, now is the time. This is the innkeeper, Dreadlight.
Gentlemen, I won't have this. You're murdering my guests and making a mess.
They started it.
They've been drinking on credit for half a day. Who's going to pay for this now?
If you search their pockets and sell their weapons, that should cover it. And I have a feeling Kubienka here owed them some dice winnings.
I didn't cheat.
Pay him.
All right, then. What did I do to deserve you? Here you go.
Ah, I see you are a nobleman and a generous one at that. You didn't have to, but thank you. I'm much obliged. You don't need to worry about anything. We'll clear away the corpses, pour some sand on the blood, and no one will know what happened here.
That's nice of you, but leave us alone now.
Nobody will be looking for them anyway. Only the catchpoles would be interested in them. You might even get a reward.
Did you hear Lord Shishka?
Yes, I did. Of course. I'm leaving. Just call if you need anything.
Who's this devil fella of yours, anyway?
He's an angry, dangerous murderer. Someone you want on your side, but never against you.
And a treacherous old fox, too. One time, he was besieging a castle, and when they refused to surrender, he dressed up as a begging hag. They let him in, and he slit their throats in their sleep. I still regret not being there to see that.
I was there. In fact, he kidnapped that hag's grandsons and told her he'd cripple them unless she let him in the castle. She opened the gate for him at night, and you know the rest.
Ha! Well, I could better the way Devil tells it.
Is it just you and the devil here? Where's the rest?
That's the problem.
What problem?
Well, I'm alone here.
Where's everybody else?
I'd like to know that too. When the devil was captured, they scattered. Some are dead, some ran for the hills. Some are probably holed up somewhere drinking.
What? The devil's been captured and that's how you tell me the news?
Who captured him?
How should I know? Some armed bastards.
Shit, Kubianka, you must know who came after you and why.
Well, we botched this job in Kuttenberg. It was supposed to be a breeze, but the fuckers outnumbered us 3-1. Before we could react, they knocked the devil down and pounded on him like a deaf man on a door. Ada and I tried to help him, but we just couldn't.
Fuck.
It pisses me off that we had to leave him there. But we would have been captured.
Do you know where they're keeping him?
Why? The town guard took him. So he's probably in the town jail?
Fuck. There's no way we're getting him out of there.
My words. Otherwise, we would have gotten him away from those fuckers a long time ago. Not even a mouse can get him there. We can't pull off something like that.
How long has it been since he was captured?
I've been sitting here drinking ever since it happened. So, maybe a week, maybe even a month. More like a month.
A month? They haven't hanged him yet.
That's the thing. The devil's famous. Lots of people want him dead. But they won't give him the news or the axe. They want to send his soul to the Lord in a much worse way. The devil is a proper bastard, but not even he deserves that.
What are they planning to do with him?
The devil's got a fat price on his head. He's the most feared robber baron in Bohemia. There are several empty tents in Sigismund's camp, thanks to him. They really want to relish his death. They'll take him to their camp outside of town for that.
Who told you that?
When someone owes you a dice wager, they'll spill him what they don't know. They say the people of Kuttenberg can't wait to see him gone.
If they're going to move him, that could be our chance. We'll wait for them and free the devil.
He will be watched by 12 armed guards. We're only 3, so unless you have 10 men up your sleeve...
I thought the devil would have at least 10 men. But other than that, it makes sense. I don't think we'll have another shot.
I was going to hire some muscle for help here, but I got thirsty. You know the rest.
More like I know you. But maybe we'll find someone around here. Everybody'll listen if we mention coin. Can you think of anything else that might come in handy?
Well, how about some hand cannons?
Have you got some?
Well, not on me. But maybe there are some in our old camp. It isn't far.
Maybe?
Maybe. Surely. If I can remember where we hid them. And as luck would have it, they're not far from the road they used to transport the devil.
What place is that?
This narrow gully with a nice curve that begs for something nasty to happen in it. West of here. You can't miss it.
Looks like there's still some sense left in your noggin despite the booze.
And what about me?
You'll go with Kubianka to get the hand cannons. He may be... surely hid somewhere.
Great! At least I won't have to carry them myself.
Don't dilly-dally. And when you have them, meet me at the ambush spot. Keep an eye on him. And don't let him talk your ear off.
How did you meet Shishka anyway?
Good day.
We tried to capture him, but he ambushed and captured us instead.
That sounds like Shishka. But that is how friendships for life are made.
With one of them in jail, while the other mocks them through the bars.
Actually, that's how I met my wife.
You have a wife? Where is she now?
Where could she be? Maybe rotting in the jail. I left her there on our wedding night.
Well, if that's what you say.
Oh, come on, Henry. You must have some fun, even if you are about to hang. Do not frown. It does not suit you.
I'm not frowning. I just didn't think it was funny.
Oh, Lord, another war. You get along with Shishka famously, don't you?
I'd gladly laugh if you said something funny.
Looks like I might have to carve a smile onto your face. Maybe a graceful and mysterious one. Like the Virgin Mary's. What do you say? I'll put my heart into it.
Give it a try.
Ha! Really? Sounds like a challenge.
You nearly got killed just now, yet you're stirring shit again.
Oh, well, I cannot help myself. Life's to be lived, and the body's to go to the grave properly fucked up. So I take it easy. As they say in Latin, cop a demon.
So you're a mercenary, cutthroat, swindler, drunk, and on top of that, a philosopher?
I'm a man of many... You know what.
A man of many debts and drinks?
Oh, come on, you do not even know me. We will get to know each other once we have a drink together. Speaking of which, would you have a drop on you?
No.
Fuck. I never ride out without some supplies. I don't know if I can stand it.
A few more stupid jokes and I'll plug your gob. But it won't be with booze.
You are very lucky to be with Shishka, that you saved me.
I'm starting to regret it.
That's why I like you. We will have so much fun together. I feel it in my bones. But we better pick up our pace. I need to piss.
Here you go. Take it.
There's a path above the stream leading. There were also some pretty rocks nearby. Ada used to wade through that stream every time he went to visit some lass. Or when he was returning. Can smell the wench from miles away. But he can't take 3 steps in the woods without getting lost. Some people are just made that way. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, if Ada could find the camp, you'll have no problem finding it yourself. Oh, and the hand cannons. They're buried somewhere near the camp. Just a few steps. That much I remember. Maybe by the stream. Or right in it? No, that's not it. Oh, we were drunk, but we're not that stupid. Although... Maybe Janos and Edda are. One time, they decided to rob some merchant because we were running out of food and drink.
What are we gonna do now?
Well, welcome to our camp. It's not much, but we called it home.
This mess?
Hey, you don't see me insulting your home.
So where are the cannons?
We hit something down below last time. By the stream, near the boulders. By the uprooted tree. And something is buried a little ways over there.
Don't you remember where you put them?
Well, I have a rough idea. A hazy memory. A hunch.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So? Where are they?
One of those places. Let's look at all of them. They are here somewhere.
We're gonna dig through half the forest.
Nonsense. I'll walk around, get my bearings. You'll see. Anyway, we need a shovel. There used to be one by Janos' tent.
Which one is that?
The one made of leaves. He was so proud of it until he woke up covered in caterpillars.
Come on then. We don't have much time.
Oh, that we had to go Olodio, and we had to fortify ourselves.
I was a fool to think this would be easy.
So, I was wrong.
So you're digging the next one?
Listen, lad.
Just tell me you didn't throw those hand cannons in the water.
Of course not. Look at that basket over there.
What about it?
The cannons are not there, but there is something better. Booze. Be a lovely lad and fetch it.
Why don't you go yourself?
The water is cold and the bottom is slippery. I do not want to get wet.
But if I get wet, that's all right, eh?
Not just all right. Downright splendid.
Why not? It'll make the digging go faster.
Good boy.
I found something in the...
Beautiful!
You can take all of it. I won't be drinking.
Are you feeling unwell?
I'm starting to feel like shit.
All right. At least there's more for me. Right. Enough playing around. Dig. Ah, so this is the grave of poor Lord Yellow. I was sure we buried him elsewhere.
Ugh. What stench.
Why? He did not smell much better when he was alive. God grant him eternal life. Some soul.
What about us?
If Loriel is here, then I reckon I know where the hand cannons are.
Here, Mutt.
So, this is it.
Don't tell me you've lost your way.
Oh, please. Me? Never. I found it.
Don't you want to dig the last hole yourself?
I'll tell you something, Henry. They're too kind. See? I told you I knew exactly where to find them.
God, why are you punishing me?
Oh, don't cry. We have more important things to do.
Will you take the cannons?
I won't be lugging them around.
Right. Are we going to see Zizka?
Let's go. Or do you want to go alone?
I'd rather go with you. Just in case.
Mount up then. We've wasted enough time as it is.
I think I've heard that one before. How did Zizka put it? The best shot north of the Alps, and also the best singer north of Sasau. Nightingales have nothing on you.
Fucking and boozing and fucking. Fucking and boozing and fucking. Bring on the barrels and roll up the wretches. There's nothing better than a nice pair of titties. That doesn't rhyme much. Women, my friend, is a venomous creature. Best kick her out, cause her back's her best feature. She'll break your heart and you want no other. Forget that damn troll up and drink your wine, brother. Fucking and boozing and...
We have the hand cannons.
How did it go? Any trouble?
It went smoothly.
That's right. My memory's like,
Civ?
See how well we understand each other.
What's the plan?
We wait. We'll position ourselves on the flanks, and when they pass, we'll attack.
Why are the wagons standing there? I was hoping we would block the road with a tree or something.
Look what I managed to find. A true march of the maimed. If they had to cut down a tree, they'd chop off their own limbs. We at least took a wheel off. It looks less suspicious, and the convoy will have to stop anyway.
Oi, fuck, but...
But what?
I would put it a little further back, so they will not see it until they are right next to it.
Ah, look who's thinking. And what then?
Then we rise with the hand cannons and blast the bastards to smithereens, from above.
What a load of rubbish.
What rubbish? It is like a battlement, but on a wagon. You get it, right? Haha.
Shut up. We'll do it my way.
Make up your minds. It's hard to say how much time we have.
So, Kubienka, take half of the men and go over there. The rest will stand on the other side.
Where will I go?
You'll stay here with me.
And then what?
We'll wait for them to arrive. And then...
Are we there yet? No, how many fucking times have I told you? Are you deaf?
Pay no attention to him, Rupert.
Pay no attention to him, Rupert.
But you hold me up in irons. You can't even show me a grain of human decency.
Paul!
What the fuck?
Damn. There's more of them than I was expecting. We can't back out now. Let's blast at them and seize the advantage.
Oi! You two! Get that wreck off the road.
Not to worry, Honorable Sir. We're working on it. To the task!
Matilda!
Fucking hell! My leg, damn it! You idiot!
Now that was just a warning shot. Surrender, or the next one will go straight through your guts.
So next time, will you hit the mark?
I'd rather settle it without bloodshed.
That's easy. Surrender, and none of you will be harmed. Until you hang alongside the devil, that is.
The only one surrendering will be you.
Oh, really? Rupert, bring that bastard to me. And you, arrest the others. If they resist, just kill them.
Halt! Not another step, or...
Oh, what? Are you gonna shoot at the sky again?
Listen to me carefully. In the woods around us, we have dozens of archers and crossbowmen. If you don't surrender, we'll shoot you to pieces. We'll kill the rest the old-fashioned way.
Oh, shit! There's barely a dozen of you. If you could kill us all, you'd have done it already.
Why do you think I approached you like this? I really don't plan on dying here, and especially not before you do. Do you understand me now?
Maybe. Hey! Stop, you idiots! We still have the advantage! Fuck them traitors! Don't just stand there! Get them! Attack!
you're the clumsiest old...
Yeah!
True blood!
Yeah!
Bash him on the head!
We've got to get the devil out of here somehow. So put the wheel back on and get the horse. If you're bleeding, patch yourself up quickly. We need to get out of here soon. If you're not bleeding, clear the bodies off the road. Hide them somewhere, but be quick about it, all right? Come here, Henry. You don't have all day.
We should get out of here, don't you think?
The sooner we're gone, the better. Welcome back, Hinnick.
If it wasn't for you, I'd still be getting worked over by those bastards in Sigismund's camp. You saved my arse, fellas. Although, I have a second hole in it now because of you. Ouch!
There was an accident. I couldn't hit you that well, even if I wanted to.
That would be a shame. We'd be hard-pressed to find another horseman like him.
Spare me the flattery. It's enough you thought I was worth saving. Warms the cockles of my heart.
Don't thank me until you know what we're up to.
Ha ha! I knew there was a reason you rescued me. What's your plan?
First, we should find the rest of your band.
Hold your horses, Henry. First things first. We have more important things to deal with. How are we doing, Devil? Do you have some kind of hideout? What about your people?
Hideout? Our old camp was a shithole.
Don't insult our home from home.
Shush! We can stay here.
Here? For all to see?
This here hole is far from town, and has such a bad reputation that decent people are afraid to come here. As long as you're paying, old Treadlight will serve you wholeheartedly. This place has everything we need, and people who come here can be recruited for some dirty work.
And there are no fleas in the beds.
Furthermore, it's called the Devil's Den, and I like that.
All right, have it your way. Henry, go to the innkeeper and arrange our stay here. But back to the point, Devil. What about your people?
My people? Kubienka isn't enough for you.
No, he isn't.
That's too bad. Oh, they fucked off somewhere. They didn't send any messages to my jail cell.
We'll have to do something about that. But first you should go and see Catherine. See if she's settled in and if she's all right. She said she'd try to find work at the Hangman's Halter Tavern.
Needs to simmer a bit longer.
You're not coming with me?
Does that bother you? What, you're not afraid of her, are you?
Someone might recognize me. And if they saw us together...
All right. What will you be doing?
I don't know about these two, but I'll be having a rest. I'm not going to sit on a horse for a while anyway.
But we don't have time for that. Like Henry said, we need more people. The three of us could just about manage to steal a few cabbages.
Forget it. It hurts like you shot off one of my arse cheeks. I can barely stand.
At least tell me what happened to your infamous Devil's Pack. Where can we find them?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Where are they, Kubienka? Why didn't you lot free me from jail?
You gather a band of criminals and then you are surprised they cannot be trusted?
So, nobody's left?
Some might return now that the devil is back.
Well, if they're not already swinging on the gallows somewhere.
Or will you find them? They could be anywhere.
We'll have to search for them. Will you help us, Henry?
I reckon I don't have a choice, do I?
I like that boy already. No pointless questions, just straight to the task.
At least tell him where to find the bastards.
I'd love to. But I don't even know who survived that fuck-up.
Not many of us are left. Janos and Adder were the first to run. I reckon they are gorging themselves somewhere. If they have any coin.
What about Bahuta and his brother? They've always been reliable.
Slavik died, Bahuta took it badly. He's not coming back.
Fuck. Henry may be able to convince him.
I doubt it, but he can try.
Do we have anyone else?
Well, there's Matthew and Roniak, but who knows where they ended up.
And that's all.
We could also try those rebellious farmers who are fighting against Sigismund around here.
I don't want any dirty peasants. I want my old pack.
In that case, there is no one else left.
And where should we look for them? I don't even know where to start.
I think I could help you with some of them. Come and see me when you want to get started.
I'll visit the town first. If Catherine's waiting for me there, I'll have to hurry. The sooner we find Liechtenstein, the sooner we can free Capon.
What is it with this bird? What kind of stupid name is that anyway?
I'll tell you everything before Henry returns. Henry, you should hurry up and come right back here once you're done. Do you understand?
Why do they call you the Dry Devil, anyway?
Why do they call you fuckhead?
But they don't call... Oh.
All right. I was only joking. I don't even know how I got the nickname. I suppose it could have something to do with all the killing, and my natural beauty. It's certainly catchier than His Grace Sir Hinnek the First of Kunstad and Yashpitz. That name wouldn't scare a fucking coward. But say it Dry Devil, and everybody just shits themselves.
How are your injuries healing?
Well, I didn't really need a second arsehole, so hopefully it was the last one I ever get. I can't really sit, stand, or lie down. Not to mention ride a horse.
It was just terrible luck that we hit you.
Yeah, I was feeling bitter for a while. But then I thought, you could have ripped my head or my leg off. So I still got off easy. And between us, I think it's still better to die of a shot to the arse than of old age or some disease.
How do you know Kubyanka?
He saved my arse back at Neuhaus. We only made it out thanks to him. I thought we were fucked. But then Kubyanka appeared, dragging a ladder, asking how much we would pay for it.
What did he get for it?
The first thing he got was a good fucking beating, because we thought he'd been dead for 2 days. But after we escaped, we made sure he didn't have to pay for drinks for a long time.
How long have you known Zizka?
It's been a while. He served with me during the Moravian-Margrave Wars.
So you were his commander, sir?
That's water under the bridge now. I'm just an old wanted robber baron whose neck you and Zizka just saved. I don't give a shit about the sirs anymore, you see?
Ah, all right then. What can you tell me about Zizka?
Well, based on what you two have been through, I'd say you should know him pretty well by now. When everything is fucked, the people around you are dying and you're fighting for your very life, only then can you really learn what a person is like.
What will you do now?
We'll give it some thought and see. Hopefully we'll know better when you come back from Liechtenstein.
Who is this Kubyanka, anyway? How long have you...
We were defending a castle and hiding in the woods together. But he was always closer with...
Can he be trusted?
Aye. When he's sober, that is. When he gets drunk, he's known to provoke until fists start flying. Did you see what happened when we first arrived?
You mean how they wanted to cut his throat for cheating at dice?
Aye. It's best not to play with him. You'd be better off tossing your coins straight into a pile of shit.
What should I know about the...
Just look at him, and you'll know everything.
I heard he's a nobleman, but he doesn't...
He's the captain of Novo, but it's true that he doesn't care much for noble manners. He has a foul mouth, and he's anything but chivalrous in a fight.
What draws you to him, then?
We're both different. That's our strength. I'm in charge when everything goes according to plan. When things go to shit, he takes over. It often turns bloody, but sometimes victory is more important than honor.
Aren't you worried about Catherine?
Do you think I should be?
I don't know. A lone woman in a big city needs to be careful in any... But when you're stalking Liechtenstein, that can be really...
No one forced Catherine. She knows what she's doing, and she can take care of herself. Remember how she dealt with the guards at Trotsky? She's braver and more dangerous than half my old band.
Aye, but... What if someone tries to...
Catherine sharpens her dagger every day. It's always razor sharp. Whoever tries will regret it sorely.
Will you be spending the night?
Seems that way. Do you have a room for us? At least for a few days.
But of course. We have 2 free rooms just upstairs. I'll have them cleaned up.
Don't even bother cleaning them, innkeeper.
Treadlight. The name's Treadlight.
What's new around here, innkeeper?
There's trouble with demons in Old Cudna. There was a great tragedy one time in the mine near there. It's abandoned now. The ground collapsed, and a pit to hell opened up there. There's talk that young Bruttons form a fight club in Horsham. Maybe they'll let you into their circle. And then Smolka came by. She's the one who runs the bathhouse across the street. She said a fella came in, all restless and fidgety, saying he wanted a girl. That he wanted to take her somewhere else, and Smolka wouldn't have it. But when he offered to pay double, she agreed. You know how it is. These days, every groschen counts.
Was he a fucking pig?
Huh. If only that.
So what did he do?
The girl came running in all beaten up. Smolka couldn't get her to talk about what happened, but it wasn't pretty. I went to see her. The girl was all blue with bruises. Her knees blooded. Not a pretty sight.
Who was this fella?
The way Smolka described him to me, he must have come with Sigismund's army. Probably a deserter. I've seen a few of those around here.
Have you any idea where I could find him?
Rumour has it he's been sleeping in a shepherd's abandoned dugout, just outside the forest nearby.
I'll take care of him.
I'm glad to hear it. And don't spare him. A lot of scum is coming here, but enough is enough. When you're done with him, go to see Smolka at the bathhouse. She'll be glad to have one less thing to worry about. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. What do you have?
I'd like to do something.
Sure.
Is this enough?
That's more... Hi. I'm glad you found what you were looking for.
How can I help you, Lord Tosspot? Certainly. My baths are...
I need a hot bath and my clothing.
All right, but my...
Let's talk about...
Excellent.
Such a drunken mess. There we are. You're all done.
Did you say mass?
And stop by again
Sorry,
anytime.
but I'm no priest.
Remember,
I did preach a
cleanliness
sermon
is next
once,
to
so-
godliness.
What can I do?
I'll have a look at the...
Worried about the...
Well...
Is this enough?
More. Aye. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
How are your knees? Feeling better?
Oh, yes. That ointment of yours is a gift from heaven. Now they only ache when there's a storm coming.
That's handy, isn't it? At least you know when to round up the cattle and gather in the hay.
Aye. When I'm old and infirm, folks will come to me for the weather forecast.
I heard about this fella who always got heartburn just before it snowed. You could team up.
Go!
Whoa! Whoa!
Ja!
Oh, whoa!
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Resting. I've been lugging these sacks for ages now. So I decided to take a load off. But I can tell you, it ain't too comfortable here.
Look, you know you have something sticking out of your forehead, right? It looks a bit like a horn.
A horn? Nobody's called it that yet.
What is it, then?
It's an arrow. Well, what's left of it, that is. A metal arrowhead and a bit of a wooden shaft. It used to be longer, but I broke it off after I nearly took a wench's eye out with it.
What? An arrow? Like, from a bow?
Aye, an arrow. With an arrowhead, a shaft, and a fletching. Simply an arrow.
You have an arrow stuck in your head? Shouldn't you be, well, dead? I've never seen anyone with an arrow in his head who wasn't.
Of course I should be. Dead as a doornail. If it was an ordinary arrow, I'd be pushing up daisies. But it ain't no ordinary arrow.
Oh? What's special about it?
Always questions all of a sudden. How about you tell me who you are first? Talking to strangers ain't the safest these days.
I'm Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Skalitz.
Oh, fuck. I heard about Skalitz. I heard it was real bad.
That it was.
Well, at least you got out in one piece. Look, the name's Carl. Folk call me Carl Arrowhead. On account of, well, you know.
How come the arrow didn't kill you then?
Because it ain't no ordinary arrow.
You said that already.
Thing is, it's a magic arrow.
Yeah, right.
You don't believe me, do you? Sometimes I get mixed up in, let's say, some confrontation. And sometimes things get a bit dicey. I was always getting beaten up, wounded, battered. But ever since I had this arrow in my noggin, not a damn thing. No wounds, no bruises. Nobody can hurt me. They haven't a chance.
Well, that could very well be a coincidence. You're just lucky.
It ain't no coincidence. It's a gift from God. This arrow here blessed me.
Doesn't it hurt? Looks like a nasty wound.
Look, when God blesses you, you accept it for what it is.
So does it hurt?
Hurts like hell. And it fucked my eyesight up a bit. But that don't matter. It's still a gift from God.
Why do you think God chose you to be blessed? What did he do to deserve it?
Well, I suppose all them good things what I did in my life. I take care of my people. I'm a good person is all. I reckon God's pleased with me.
Do you think it could be taken out? Can I touch it?
If you touch it, I'll rip off both your arms, shove them up your arse, and make you clap.
Easy! Easy now! I was just asking. No need to get upset. You're worried I'd get the magic too, eh?
No, I'm worried that you wouldn't march and step, and I wouldn't like that.
I understand. You're simply undefeatable.
Exactly, lad. A whole year without a scratch. A whole year. And me and my lads got ourselves into some dodgy situations, I'll tell you that. But enough chat. I've got to get back to the camp. I've got a proposition for you. you lug one of them sacks here for me, and we can talk some more along the way. What do you say?
What's in these sacks, anyway?
Just stuff what folk leave lying around unattended. These days, everyone locks up their cottages, sties, coops, and who knows what else. They keep their valuables in their chests. Folk are plenty nervous. And then they go and leave a couple of sacks of charcoal lying around outside. And when you see something lying around, it'd be a sin to let it get rained on, wouldn't it?
That's an interesting way of looking at theft. And what are you going to do with this charcoal?
What do you mean? It's charcoal. It always comes in handy. So, will you help me?
Well, can't let you lug them all on your own.
Glad to hear it. Ugh. Them sacks are heavy as fuck, but I couldn't just leave them behind. A man can be invincible, and blessed by God, but 2 sacks of charcoal is still 2 sacks of charcoal.
How can you be so sure you can't get hurt? Maybe you were just incredibly lucky up until now.
The answer's easy. I just know. When I got hit with this here arrow, I was out of it for 3 days. I just lay there for 3 days. Everyone thought I was dead, but I kept on breathing. I had this vision of someone. He had this glow around him. He must have been a saint. He spoke to me. Real kind-like. On the 3rd day, I woke up, just like Jesus, and I knew everything was different, that I was a changed man, and there was no turning back.
If the arrow is a gift from God, do you think he doesn't mind that you steal?
I made my living this way long before it happened. The arrow could have killed me then, but it didn't. He knows very well I've got no choice. I do what I have to survive. I take care of my men, every last one of them. I can't let them starve to death, and our good Lord knows that. That's why he leaves us be. With this arrow, he sent us a bit of his grace, and our lives are just a little bit better because of it.
Well, God does all sorts of things. Maybe the invincible Carol with his arrow is all just part of his plan.
Exactly. Just like he sent you to help me with the sack. And don't worry, we're almost there now.
he had a falconer with him.
And he had a falcon who could talk?
Everyone knows that. No, he...
I dropped that sack over there, but... Look here. Don't you mind just leading me right into your camp? What if I let slip that you lot are here?
Why would you do that? You wouldn't get any reward for this band of nobodies anyway.
I suppose not.
Thanks for the help, lad. I'm glad you happened by and stopped to talk to me. Not everyone is willing to help. It's a rare sight these days.
I'm glad to be of help.
Here's some ale money. And I wish you good luck in these wild times. May God's favor be with you. But now, you should get going. The fellas get nervous when there's strangers around. The Lord be with you.
It'd be good to know what the weather will be like tomorrow. It's going to rain. There's no point in going anywhere.
Go! Go!
Quick!
Whoa! Whoa! Good.